Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games. It's been a long time since I've done any videos. Particularly, you may have noticed that I've grown my hair back, grown my beard back in, because it is approaching winter and I need to keep my gentle head warm. So what we're going to talk about today, first video in a long time, is the Battle Forces that Games Workshop have announced over this previous weekend for Warhammer Day in the reveal section. Reveals, if I'm honest, were a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping for something a lot cooler, just in general. I don't even know what I wanted. I wanted some like cool, new, exciting, like big fantasy set piece type minis or something. Yeah, it was just a little bit boring. Not overly bothered about rattlings for kill team. Plastic tank buster orcs for kill team. Yeah. It's not kind of there for me, unfortunately. The little rattling diorama thing does look cool. It's not for me. It's not for me. But Battle Forces are exciting because they are an amazing value way to bulk up your model collection or add to an existing army, start a new army. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Battle Forces one by one, talk about the content that's in there, break it down in terms of value. We have a rough guesstimate on what the price is, RRP will be of those box sets. So we're going to talk about that bit by bit. I've got a list here. I'm going to go through them and we'll break it down. So the first one we're going to start with, we're going to start in 40k, and we're going to go through the Tau box. So the Tau Retaliation Cadre only has 4 models in it. You get a Tau Commander, a Riptide Battlesuit, a Ghost Kill Battlesuit, and a Broadside Battlesuit. Okay, so those 4 kits, it's like a perfect add-on. In all of these are to a Combat Patrol or a Vanguard or a Spearhead box set to give you a much larger army. The value of that at RRP is £211. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. £211 worth of stuff. We expect, based on previous releases that Games Workshop have done over the course of the year, that the RRP for these box sets is probably going to be £145. So that would be, Games Workshop always talk about things in terms of added value. So 45% saving added value on buying the kits individually. So £211 RRP for the kits individually, £145 expected for the box set is, saving about 45%. Obviously, if you come to us at Mighty Lancer Games, you'll be paying a little bit less for that. Around 15% less off the box price, somewhere in the region of about £120, I would imagine, will be our price for those. And you can pre-order, register your interest, is what I mean to say. And register your interest, say that you would like one of these boxes, and we can put you on a reserve list by clicking one of the links that's going to be in the description down below, and then you can put your name down. And then what we'll do is, I'll talk about all that at the end. So, Tau, 45% expected added value. That's a pretty good deal. 4 models though. Good add-on, but low model count. Is that exciting? Maybe if you're a Tau player. So the next one is the Dark Angels Inner Circle Task Force. Now this one is a little bit more bespoke and has some of the newer stuff in. So you get Lionel Johnson, the fantastic centerpiece model for the Dark Angels. You get a Chaplain in Terminator armor. He's a new figure. 10 Deathwing Knights. So 2 lots of the Deathwing Knights, which are the new plastic Terminator Dark Angel kit, and then 6 Inner Circle Companions. Now that is obviously 2 lots of 3, and these again are brand new kits for the Dark Angels release. So these are the shady, like secretive, like even more than the first company secret-y guys that are expected to be. I think somebody mentioned to me that they're supposed to be some of the Fallen that Lionel Johnson's kind of got in as his bodyguard, and he sends them off on special missions and stuff. So all of that. Now this one, the Dark Angels one, is in my opinion, probably the best value of them all. So that RRP adds up to £233.50, which if that box set turns out to be £145, is a 61% saving on buying those kits individually, which is pretty amazing. However, it's very bespoke, and only if you want to play your Dark Angels army in that particular way, because these are Dark Angel specific kits. If you want to play your Dark Angels army with Lionel Johnson and a load of Terminators and some Inner Circle companions, that is a fantastic add-on to the Combat Patrol, but also it's just a load of Terminators. It's like you're playing loads of First Company stuff, so there's no Raven Wing options or whatever, but fantastic saving, and if you really like the stuff, that's super cool. The next box set, which is possibly the one that I'm most excited for, is the Knights, Imperial Knights Valor Strike Lance. So in that you get a Questoris Knight. You can build him as Canis Rex or any of the other Questoris variants, okay, and 4 Knight Armigers. Now you can build those as either Helverins or Warglaves, combination of the both, and so you could build all 4 as Helverins if you want, so you do get all the sprues that you need to make all of those things. And this one is really good value as well. So that comes up to £225 at RRP, which is 55% expected saving over buying those kits individually if the box set turns out to be the £145. So that one is amazing. I think that's going to be one of the more popular ones, Imperial Knights. Now there's 5. Normally, when we do Battle Forces, or when we get Battle Forces at Christmas from Games Direct Shop, there's normally been 6 40k ones at least, and 4 Age of Sigmar. And this year, we're getting 5 40k ones and 4 Age of Sigmar, which leads me to think that there may be a couple more releases a little bit further down the line. I'm only speculating because we've had other stuff in the past. So in previous years, we've had the full complement, like the 10 Battle Forces, and then like a Adeptus Titanicus battle group box set, or we had a splash release of 3 or 4 different Space Marine chapter box sets the other year. We got Imperial Fists, White Scars, Raven Guard, I think there was an Iron Hands one. So like to complement the other Battle Force releases, they all came around the same kind of time. I'm expecting maybe some kind of box set for Heresy to be added on at whatever, the 30k, or maybe even Legions Imperialis, some kind of like box set or 2 for Legions Imperialis that represents really good value for buying kits separately. But we'll see what comes. I haven't got any confirmation on that. This is purely speculation. So back to the list, 40k, Adeptus Sororitas, a Penitent Crusader Host. Another one that seems like pretty good value to me. You get Ministorum Priest, 10 Sisters Repentia. They're the like ladies with the big chainswords. 10 Arco-Flagellants, 2 Penitent Engines, and 2 Rhino Transports. Now the composition of this one seems a little bit odd to me. In previous times, so we've already had a Sisters Battle Force this year when the Codex released. We've already had a Sisters Battle Force last Christmas. So it does seem a little bit odd that they're doing Sisters again. But this one, although it's got the Rhino Transports in, Rhinos aren't an assault vehicle. So you can't put your Repentia and your Flagellants in them and then charge them out at your enemy. So it seems a bit odd that you get Rhinos, but you don't get Sisters, Battle Sisters, or supports Retributor squads or whatever to go in your Rhinos and scoot them around the battlefield. It does seem a little bit strange composition. But, on the other hand, adds on perfectly, in my opinion, to the Combat Patrol, where you do get some Battle Sisters and some other bits and pieces. So, it's, depends how you're thinking about building your army. Now, all of the contents of the Sisters Battle Force box set there comes £215.50. So that's an expected saving of about 46%, which again, is excellent value. And that leads us on to the last one of the 40k box sets, the Necron Hypercrypt Legion. So in this is another one that seems it's very bespoke. So you've got to you know, people aren't going to be buying multiples of most of these box sets because they've got very specific contents in. So this is a Catan Shard of the Void Dragon, so a nice big centerpiece mini for the Necrons. A Necron Lord with a translocation shroud, so he's one of the newer cool models that's got like all the matrixy effect going off around him. 10 Lich Guard, so that's 2 lots of 5 Lich Guard or Praetorians, you can build them either way, and then a set of 10 warriors that come with the Scarab Swarms and what have you. So that all comes to £208 at RRP. So that's an expected saving of about 43%. So out of those 40k ones, I think that the Imperial Knight one is probably going to be the most desirable for me. But in terms of the best value and what's probably going to sell out fastest, like the World Eaters box set last Christmas, which just was crazy. Because it had Angron in and what have you. I think the Dark Angels one is going to be by far the most popular. So that's the 40k ones. Certainly the Dark Angels one is the most potential added value if they are all the same price. So in the past we have seen great different pricing depending on the different box sets, and it's been anywhere between kind of like £125 to £140. We've had a price rise in between. Recent Battleforces and box sets like the Blood Angels one have been £145. Fully expecting £145 to be the price mark for these, and they're probably, fingers crossed, all going to be the same price. It'd be nice to see them a little bit cheaper and all be the same price still, but I would imagine that they're all going to be £145, and be giving you somewhere between 40 and 50% saving, apart from that Dark Angels one, which is significantly better. So let's move on to the AOS ones. We'll talk briefly through those as well. So Age of Sigmar, there's 4 for Age of Sigmar. So the first one is Cities of Sigmar Founding Foray. So this is the first time the Cities of Sigmar have had a Battle Force release. So they did get an army box release when they first came out, which was very cool. And now they have got a Battle Force. So this is 10 Free Guild Fusiliers, an Iron Weld Great Cannon, a Fusil Major on the Ogre Warhulk, 5 Free Guild Cavaliers, Free Guild Marshal and Relic Envoy, and a Free Guild Command Corps set. So there's quite a lot in there in terms of miniature content. You get the guy in the little crow's nest on the back of the ogre. I think that's a pretty cool mini. Fusiliers, they're the guys with the mantlets and the guns. You get the big cannon. You get some cavaliers as fast attack. The relic marshal, or the marshal and his little mate with his relic box. And then the command corps. So again, this is a fantastic add-on to the new Spearhead box set, because that's got some cavalry and some infantry and what have you in there. That'll make quite a nice kind of rounded force, because you've got extra command options and the extra cannon. I think there's a cannon in the Spearhead box. That's a pretty cool set. £208.50 is the RRP of all those kits. Added together. So that's expected. So last year, now then, this is something else. So last year, the Age of Sigmar Battle Forces were slightly cheaper, if I recall, than the 40k ones. I think they were maybe like a £5 or £10 difference between the Age of Sigmar ones and the 40k ones, if I remember correctly. So that, if they're £145, this is the caveat. If they're £145, that is a 43% saving of buying those kits separately. Now, Cities of Sigmar have been very popular over the course of the year. A lot of people picking them up to use in other games. So you've got very usable for stuff like Mordheim, and people picking them up to use as Empire for Old World and what have you. Just and other generic games like Frostgrave and Oathmark and other fantasy games, because the Cities of Sigmar stuff is really nice. And the new sculpts for the figures, where they've got no standard body type, there's some larger bodies in there and some chubbier faces and what have you. They're really cool, really nice characterful minis. And there's some weird and wonderful stuff in there as well, like the Free Guild Command Corps, the guy with the cauldron, and you've got the leader with the big Manticore mini, Talia Vass, I think she's called. Now, and the guy in the crow's nest on the back of the ogre. I mean, there's some weird and wonderful stuff in there, but you can also just pick up bunches of like standard infantry looking guys, the Free Guild Corps, the Spearmen, and there's the Wildercorp Hunters for Warcry, which are a lovely add-on. They make a fantastic Witch Hunter cadre for Mordheim with all the crossbows and the dogs and what have you. There's like the Cities of Sigmar range, in my opinion, is fantastic. It's really cool. So check that one out. The next one, moving on, Fleshen Accords Charnel Grand Jury. Now this is, I've never really liked the Fleshen Accords. I'm not keen on just my opinion, but I'm not really keen on the aesthetic. There's a couple of models that I like. One of those sets is in this box set, so I can think of uses for them. That's the thing. So in this box, you get Grand Justice Gourmain. So he is a ghoul special character, or Flesh Eater Court special character. So he's a ghoul and he's wearing like a wig. He's like a judge, basically, Grand Justice, and he's wearing the big wig made out of intestines and what have you. So he's a command character for the Flesh Eaters. 10 Crypt Guard. Now these are the guys that are like, they're an upgrade on standard ghouls, so they've got swords and halberds and what have you. And in my mind, they are perfect for games like Frostgrave and Mordheim as dregs and ghouls and what have you. That just look a little bit more interesting than like the standard zombies that we've had access to available in the past. So you get 10 Crypt Guard, 6 Crypt Horrors. Now these have been around for a while, the Crypt Horrors, so they're the big vampire, like ghoul creatures that you can build as, I think you can build them as Vargheists, or you can build them as like Crypt Horrors or whatever. There's a few different things you can build out of them. So that's 2 sets of 3. And then also 6, so 2 sets of 3, Morbeg Knights. So they're a new kit that came along with Crypt Guard and a lot of the other more recent Flesh Eater releases. So these are ghouls riding bigger, like vampire beast looking things. They're pretty cool. So you get 2 sets of those. So that all adds up to £205.50, which is a expected saving of about 41%. So I rounded these down or up to the nearest like 1%, rather than giving you fractions. But yeah, about 41% saving, if that is 145 quid. So there are 2 more Battle Forces left. Now one has come far too late for me, probably about 2 years too late for me, is the Ironjawz Wrecker Mob. So I've already built a huge Ironjawz army in the past. If you've watched any of our Twitch or whatever from a couple of years ago, you'll have seen me painting a bright pink Maw Crusher to go with my Ironjawz army. I've got a quite large Ironjawz force for Age of Sigmar. And this Ironjawz Wrecker Mob is comprised of all new models from the most recent release of Ironjawz. So you get the Tusk Boss on the Maw Grunter, the new big pig that you can build with the little sidecars, and the 2 guys with the choppy sticks, or just one big character riding the big pig. 6 Weird Brute Wreckers. So they are sets of 3 normally. So you get 2 sets of 3, and these are huge brutes that can be built as either weird brutes with a swinging mace, or you can have them as heavily armoured troops. And then 20 Ard Boys. So these are the new Ironjawz Ard Boys kits. Now all of that adds up to £204. So this is possibly the weakest, if the price is £145. This is probably the weakest at 40% additional value, and that would be the one that I would really go for. Apart from the fact that I don't really need any more orcs. Maggotkin of Nurgle, the Shudderblight Cyst. So this is the last one in the list. Now this includes a Harbinger of Decay, which is the really cool Nurgle character with the scythe on the horse. It's very reminiscent of the Frazetta Death Dealer painting. Really cool mini. Is, as a couple of these other bits are, direct only with Games Workshop, so that we can only get that in as a special order for customers. And interestingly, they've put that in the set. There is 1 or 2 models across these sets that are direct only, and that is one of them. And that's a strange inclusion to my mind. the other things that are in this box set, so Haring of Decay, 4 Puscoil Blight Lords. So that is normally, it's a set of 2 demon guys riding on huge fly demon monsters, one of which you can build as a special character apparently, 5 Putrid Blight Kings, and then a set of 10 Rotmire Creed, which are the one of the Warcry warbands, very Nurgle themed, that you can also use in your Maggotkin of Nurgle army. So that adds up to £212 RRP, which is a projected saving of 46%, which is pretty good. That's one of the higher values in terms of these box sets, or higher projected values in terms of these box sets. And interesting that there's a couple of bits there that are direct only. So Rotmire Creed are Warcry specific, still available as a general item for us to stock, I believe. The Puscoil Blight Lords, now I think that they might be direct only, so that's an odd inclusion as well, being a direct only kit. Now, I'm sure there was something else on my list here that was a direct only thing. Oh, the Free Guild Marshal and Relic Envoy for the Cities of Sigmar. That's a direct only kit. Anything else on there? No, that's it. So yeah, the Relic Marshal, Free Guild Marshal and Relic Envoy. That's what I meant to say. So that's a direct only kit as well. So these box sets, like, they're really good value. They always are really good value. Now we're waiting to find out what the price is from Games Workshop. We expect it to be £145. They've shown them off this weekend, so we can expect these are going to go on pre-order sometime this month. This is October 2024, so we expect these to go on pre-order at some point over October. Now we know that this weekend's pre-orders, this coming weekend's pre-orders, are going to be Stormcast Eternals. This is the reinforcements for the Stormcast. We don't know what is going on pre-order the following week, so it could well be 2 weeks pre-order for Battle Forces, and that then they release at the end of the month. I don't know if that would time it right for Black Friday, because they've done it before where they kind of go on pre-order on Black Friday. Now, what I fully expect, and what we had last year, and to some extent in previous years, is that some of these Battle Forces have been very limited availability, and Games Workshop have restricted how many as a store we can order in advance, and then it's just been a case of if there is any residual stock that we can maybe have some more. So what we've done, as we've done with some other previous high profile releases, and we did with the Battle Forces last year, is we've set up an interest list on our website, and the links for these will be in the description down below. So you can click on register your interest to say that yes, you would like one of these and one of these, and we know that the price is probably going to be, the RRP is probably going to be about £145. So expect our standard kind of 15% discount off that. If it's £145, it'll be somewhere in the region of £120 price to customers through Mighty Lancer Games. Now remember that that's over £50, so it'll be free UK standard delivery. You can upgrade first class or special delivery if you like, when it comes to the point of ordering. Now, so the pre-interest thing. So basically you go on to our website, you will fill in the form, so you can click the link, go on to the website, fill in the form that says, yes, I would like a Knights Valor Strike Lance, and I would also like a Cities of Sigmar Founding Foray, or whichever Battle Forces that you would like. You click that link, you fill the details in, you press submit, that will redirect you, and your confirmation will be received. We will get that on a mailing list, we'll comprise a list. When Games Workshop tell us what stock availability we can have, we will then write out to you and say, yes, we're going to get X amount of these box sets, and you can have, if you would like to purchase, you can have one of these and one of those, and then on the day of pre-order we will send you an invoice for those items, so you don't have to sit in queues and wait for hunting around the internet trying to find availability and what have you. So we would tell you ahead of time that like, yes, we can sort you out with one, but because of our contract with Games Workshop, we can't take your money in advance of the pre-release time. We can register your interest, so that's what we can do. So we'll send you an invoice. You then pay it over the course of that weekend, that pre-order weekend, and then when the stock arrives, we ship it out to you like a normal pre-order, and everything's fantastic. That's the idea. So we would put our numbers in. So say, I don't know, we need 5 Valor Strike Lances. We ask for Games Workshop 5 Valor Strike Lances, and in the situation that they turn around and say, oh well, you can only have 2, then we would allocate those to the first people that have signed up on the list, and then we would let the other people who we can't supply with a copy, we would let you know that we can't supply with a copy. So then you can explore your other options and see if you can find one online or through their website direct. Now, obviously, we hope that we can order enough to satisfy all the demand. That's the intention, and there we go. So if you've got any questions, or let us know what your favourite battle force is from the list. Which ones are you probably going to go for? What would you, if there are some secret bonus extra ones going to be released at a later date, what would you like to see? So we've probably got the 4 that we're definitely getting for AOS. I'm expecting another one possibly for 40k. That'd be a nice surprise, something really cool. It's odd that we've only got the 1 Space Marine one this year, because previous years we've normally had like a vanilla Space Marines and then 2 or 3 other faction Space Marine boxes. So I think it's been a while since we've had a Space Wolf one. That'd be pretty cool. Let us know in the comments down below. Also, check in the video description. That will be where the links will be posted for the sign-up list for the Battle Forces through Mighty Lancer Games website. Check out mightylancergames.co.uk. Give us a like and a subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will endeavour to make more quality YouTube content moving forward. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all soon.